Hello, Ben Woodruff here with another Falconry video. Today I am up in the mountains of northern Utah. It's the very beginning of November, so it's a little chilly. There's snow out, but there's still a lot of wildlife as well. I'm here with Sundance the Harris hawk, and I've only had Sundance for a few weeks. We're getting to know each other well. And one of the things I've been doing, normally when I'm hunting with hawks, I'm hunting jackrabbits, also known as sage hares, or I'm hunting for cottontails. But those numbers have been pretty low in recent years. And so I noticed this summer there were a bunch of snowshoe hares up here in the mountains, much more than normal. They had a good population boom. So I was looking forward for hunting season to get started and to be looking for them, giving them a try. But what I'm finding here is once it got cold and once hunting season started, all these snowshoe hares, they're just suddenly have become super sneaky. They're hiding. They're not. They used to be really easy to find. Their tracks are everywhere, and now that it's snowed, I've been up here a few times, but now that it's snowed, I've got a good view of the tracks and can kind of better assess the population. So Sundance and I are going to be going around. He's going to be following me, and we're going to take a look at all the tracks of all the animals as well, and kind of read what the environment is like here. And hopefully we'll have some luck. You can hear the squirrels. The tree squirrels are very mad that Sundance is here. He's right on the table with me. He keeps flying around and coming back. Come here, Sundance. Come here. Give him a little treat. Come here. Want to come over here? There we go. But what we're doing is we are trying to find snowshoe hares, getting some exercise in, and maybe we'll get some tree squirrels. Maybe we'll get lucky. You ready to go? Gonna see what we can find. See if we can find some hares. We got snow. Maybe the snow will bring out the snowshoe hares. We don't normally think of a Harris as being an animal that goes around in the snow, but keep their feet warm and they do all right. There's a lot of moose around here, and they're pretty sneaky for being the biggest herbivore in the area. Normally you see their footprints where you're just seeing their front two toes, but occasionally if they're doing a little jump, you get their back toes. So we're gonna take a look at this right here. You can see this. Here's the front and here's the back when he was kind of leaping up from over here, pushing off a little bit, and those back toes still made an impact. Here's some more of those moose tracks that show the back toes. So there's the front toes, and you got those back toes kind of pushing down in as they're working their way through that deep, deep snow. Well, I mean, it's not deep, but it's deep for the first week in November. One of the tricky things is a good Harris hawk will fly ahead, and Sundance is that way. But when you're in really dense country like this, I want to have him fly off the fist. So one of the strengths of a Harris can be a weakness under those kind of circumstances. It's kind of tricky. Dense trees. This is a bird that usually does better in more open country. But if he's way up in a tree and a rabbit flushes at my feet, he's not going to see it. Come on, bud. We got all this snow. It feels like winter, but we still have delicious elderberries. Good snack. We got some snowshoe hare tracks here. We also got a canine. Looks probably like coyote. Could be a fox in the snow, but it's more likely a coyote. Probably out hunting the same hares that we're looking for. All right, let's go find some rabbits. Well, this is a fun one. Looks like we got a big old cougar walking along here. And it's melted out, but you can see compared to, my footprint here, that's a pretty big cat. right there, out hunting the deer in here. See anything up there? You can hear a squirrel barking at him, saying it's displeasure. Here's the tree squirrels enjoying the labor of all their summer. All summer long, they've been gathering up fir cones, burying them, and now you can see they're digging them out, tearing them open and eating the little seeds off them. All these little red flakes are where they're taking them out. You see, this is another den right here. Not a den, just a storehouse of these fir cones, and you can see these have been bitten off. All the seeds are eaten off of them by the tree squirrels. But there's fresh ones like this being taken out, and the little seeds in the center are pulled out and eaten and then discarded over here. Smart plan for your future. You go somewhere? Go up to a tree. Going up. See anything from up there? Where are the rabbits? Get a better vantage point there. So more hare tracks here, but also you have a little rodent, probably a mouse. So you can see these trackways here, they just have this little gate going along. There's canine tracks here, there's moose tracks, there's a little bit of everything coming through here. But I'm not seeing the snowshoe hares. Their tracks are here, but they're hiding well. So normally when I'm going after lagomorphs, members of the rabbit family, I'm going after cottontails and jackrabbits, but their numbers have been low enough out in the deserts that this year there's actually been a ton of snowshoe hares all summer long up in the mountains, and it's kind of my goal to see if we get Sundance to go in on some of these. There's tracks everywhere, and they were here all summer, but I'm not seeing them. I don't know where they are. Getting some good exercise in. Got some fresh droppings from some hares and some fresh urine as well. So I think they're hanging around close. They're just so good at hiding. Hare's hawk hanging out in the snow. Let's keep going. Come on. Come on. Come on, dude. Well, Sundance and I didn't end up seeing any snowshoe hares, but it gets me kind of wondering about things. Now, I'm in Utah. Here in northern Utah, most of the areas where people hunt rabbits is sagebrush country, the big open sage country. Now, you might get some little rolling hills in there and some little arroyos, little canyons, and we're mostly hunting jackrabbits and cottontail rabbits. Cottontail rabbits are true rabbits. Jackrabbits are actually hares, and they're the biggest hare. We have white-tailed jackrabbits and black-tailed jackrabbits. Mostly what people hunt around here are black-tailed jackrabbits. Big, large species, it's a difficult quarry. They're huge. They're big hares. Most people don't call them hares. Most people just call them jackrabbits. But jack means kind of like, a mockery of, or kind of like a fake version of. So it's like a jackrabbit. It's not a real rabbit because it's a hare. Well, snowshoe hares are different. Snowshoe hares I have hunted them, but the way I hunted them was very, very different. I hunted them with golden eagles in the foothills of the Wasatch Mountains. It's a part of the Rocky Mountains here. It's right kind of on the edge of the Rocky Mountains. And in these foothills, there's tons of snowshoe hares. But what I used to do is I would just let my golden eagles just sail back and forth along these foothills. And we're looking at a very steep grade like this, and I would just stand, and they would just kind of go back and forth, and they'd range out, half mile, come back, and they would just see the snowshoe hares and would just catch them. I did not really have to understand the quarry very well. I just went after things. Well, part of being a good falconer is understanding and learning about your quarry and really developing a love of them. And you see it, longtime falconers really do become masters of understanding the quarry and respecting them. One of the falconers that I say this the most of is Steve Chindgren. Steve Chindgren runs the House of Grouse. He's one of the most accomplished sage grouse hunting falconers on the planet, and also is a world-class wildlife educator. And I'm going to put a link to his channel because more people need to see what he produces. But over years hunting sage grouse, he has produced some of the most important information to science on sage grouse. And you should watch his channel just to see. But getting to know your quarry is important. I don't know snowshoe hares very well. I only decided to try to go after them in the mountains because I was seeing them there all summer. I was like, oh, well, hey, this will be great come hunting season. So I want to get to know this species better, want to understand snowshoe hares. Being a hare, they're reportedly not supposed to go underground like a rabbit. They're supposed to be above ground all the time. They might hide in the brush, but not go underground. So I'm going to do more research and get to know this species better. And now that we're into winter and it snowed a lot over this weekend since I made this video, they could just be sitting right in front of me and not moving, and I don't know it. So I'm actually even thinking of going without the bird and taking a thermal imaging camera and just seeing if that can help, because I want to understand this species and I want to understand kind of how they fit in this ecosystem in the canyon. So I hope you enjoyed coming along with Sundance and I and just kind of getting out in nature and seeing things. Hopefully we can find some snowshoe hares, and as always, happy hawking.